Hi, everyone. Today we're going to focus on our communication board here. And we're going to focus on the word help, which I think is all the way over here. Help. So the book is called Can We Help? It's about kids volunteering to help their community. So this book doesn't have the word repeated like the other two stories I did. So each page, as we finish reading, you will say the word help. You'll do the sign language symbol for help, which is a flat hand out and then a thumbs up in it. Okay, help. You can also look at the person that is with you. That's a way to get someone's attention, or tapping them on the shoulder and asking for help, or verbally saying help. Okay, so let's get started. Can we help? Okay. People who are homeless need shelter, food, and clothing. Farms, stores, religious organizations, and schools often donate food and clothing to shelters. These students are knitting hats and scarves for homeless families that are in need. To make hats, the students use round plastic knitting looms and colorful yarn. To knit scarves, Amelia uses just part of a loom, and Sarah uses straight knitting needles. Now pause the video and practice help. Each hat or scarf takes about a week to make. Jack stretches his scarf to see how long it is. When Campbell is finished knitting his hat, he tries it on. Then all the students put on their creations, happy that their handiwork will help keep someone warm. Pause and practice help. A community farm grows produce to give to organizations that help feed people who don't have enough to eat. Men, women, and children volunteer their time to plant, grow, and harvest fruits and vegetables. At harvest time, families are invited to pick the produce. Children work alongside the grown-ups as they move up and down the rows of plants. Pause and practice help. All right. Here we go. Soon, hundreds of tomatoes, carrots, squash, beets, peppers, strawberries, and other fruits and vegetables fill the crates and wheelbarrows in the fields. Dominic and his mom wash the fresh carrots. Later, the produce will be sent to soup kitchens and shelters in town. Pause and practice help. The Food Depot is a place that collects food donated by growers, supermarkets, and stores. They have a huge cold warehouse where they store donations and pack them up to distribute. They invite families to come pack plastic bags with food. These bags are then given to people who don't have enough to eat. The kids pick plums from huge cardboard tubs. Each child picks 8 plums and puts them into a bag. Caitlin finds a bad plum and throws it into a separate barrel. Pause and practice help. These bags are put into cardboard boxes. They will be delivered to organizations where hungry people can come to get them. Schools will give the bags to children who need food at home. To celebrate a job well done, the kids cover the empty tub and make a drum to pound on. Practice help. On another day, volunteers pack bags of donated snacks for school kids. These are given to children whose parents are not home when they return from school. With these donations, the kids will be sure to have snacks in the afternoon. Ellen unpacks one of the many cartons of donated snacks. There are several different kinds. She chooses one of each and puts them in a bag. Rosie helps by tying a knot in each bag. Elena then packs the bags into the cartons that will be sent to schools. Pause and practice help. All right. The girls work together to seal and label the cartons. Then they lift each box onto a pallet. Later, a forklift will take the cartons into the refrigerated warehouse. Look at them lifting that. Elena dances in a costume she created out of some of the empty cartons. Pause and practice help. All right. Kitchen Angels is an organization that provides hot meals for folks who can't cook for themselves. The meals are cooked by volunteers and then packed into separate shopping bags for each person. The bags are put in an insulated box to keep them warm until they are delivered. Volunteers pick up the bags to deliver them to people in town. All the volunteers sign in when they arrive to pick up the meals. Molly and her dad are volunteers who deliver meals. She is 6 years old and has been volunteering for 2 years. It is dark and cold when Molly and her dad deliver a meal to Mr. Lewis, who doesn't see too well. He looks forward to greeting Molly and getting his dinner. Pause and practice help. During the winter holidays, children and grown-ups gather to wrap gifts for people who receive meals from Kitchen Angels. Finn works with Mr. Moore on the other side of the crowded room. Kyle and his brother Carlos wrap small gifts alongside their mom. Samantha ties a pretty ribbon around a gift. This week, the volunteers will deliver the Christmas gifts with the dinners. Pause and practice help. Okay, this one's really cool. Specially trained dogs can help people who have physical or mental disabilities. Puppies start with their training to be assistance dogs when they are just 2 months old. It takes about 2 years to train a dog. At first, Assistance dogs are trained by professional adult trainers. Then, children volunteer to give the dogs the experience of hearing young voices giving commands. The dogs will learn about 90 words. 90, wow! Beginning with their own names. Alex and Serena start the class by strapping bags of treats to their waists. These are the rewards they will give to their dogs when they do the right thing. Ulysses is paired with Black Labrador Retriever named Olivia. Each student spends the beginning of the class talking to, scratching, and petting his or her dog. Pause and practice help. Here's more dog pictures. Alex brushes Hubbard's teeth and then hugs him. Meanwhile, Max brushes Blossom's coat. They learn commands like sit, wait, go to bed, left, right, drop it, bring it here, and many others. Henry teaches Hula to open a door by pressing a switch with her nose. Sophia gives Tahiti a treat when she responds to her command, down. Pause and practice saying help. Each dog is kept on a leash so that it will stay close to its trainer. An assistance dog must be able to walk with its owner into supermarkets and stores to shop. Yuli trains Riley from a wheelchair to get Riley used to moving with it. Geneva walks Hubbard through the building. Next, they practice walking around the playing field. Each dog and trainer pair moves, sits, or lies down together. During the training, the dogs are introduced to people who need assistance. At that time, it is the dog that chooses the person it will spend the rest of its life with. At graduation, the dog is handed over by the student trainer to the new partner. Super cool. Pause and practice help. Some volunteers help people with physical disabilities ski on a snowy mountain. Gavin and his dad have been doing this for several years. They help people like Mike, who gets around in a wheelchair. On winter Saturdays, Mike's parents bring him to the mountain. They and Gavin lift him from his wheelchair into a bi-ski and strap him in. Then Gavin, an adult instructor, and Mike ride the chairlift together. There's them riding the chairlift together. Pause and practice help. Here's another skiing photo. Okay, here we go. At the top of the slope, Gavin steers using the handles behind Mike. The instructor holds on to two long belts for safety. Off they go, making turns from side to side all the way down the slope, amid the other skiers. After an hour and a half and many trips down the slopes, Mike and Gavin are all smiles. Pause and practice help. Okay. It's almost spring. 2 years ago, this town planted shrubs along a river. The roots from the shrubs help to hold the soil in place and keep it from washing away. Gio and his father, Leonardo, planted 100 cottonwood trees along the banks in their neighborhood. But some years the river runs dry because of drought. The young trees don't get enough water even when the local reservoir releases some water that flows downriver. Gio, his dad, Celia, Flex, Oliver, Zubin, and Wyatt gather at the river with buckets and plastic jugs to scoop up water from the river. They carry the full buckets to the thirsty trees and pour the water into a well around the base of each tree. Pause and practice help. Excuse me. Okay. When Celia pours her bucket of water into the well, the water begins to bubble. The soil is soaking up the water. The young crew works its way along the river until the saplings have been watered. A playful rock throwing contest takes place before they go home for lunch. After about 3 weeks, cottonwood buds begin to pop out on the delicate branches. The trees have survived the drought, and the spring has arrived in the neighborhood for all to enjoy. Pause and practice help. We have a few more pages. Some schools have a program, a mentorship program. The middle school students shown here volunteer to help elementary students with their studies. Once a week after school, young students are dropped off at the middle school, where the older students meet them. They gather in a drama room, which has costumes hanging against the wall, with hats and helmets on a shelf above. There are also drums, exercise balls, and other props around the room. Jennifer, the teacher, plays a game that helps the two groups get to know each other. Once they've learned one another's names, the young students are paired up with the older mentors. Pause and practice help. Emma tutors Kira. Lucinda works with Juan. Graham is with Layla. And Dominica helps Lucas. Pause and practice help. The young students get help with their writing and mathematics homework when they read books and talk about the stories. They also play word games. At 5 o'clock, it's time to go home, but not before some last moments of fun. Graham puts on a bonnet from the shelf and takes a turn beating a drum. They all look forward to next week. Pause and practice help. This Boys and Girls Club has adopted the road leading to their clubhouse. It's a beautiful environment with snow-covered mountains in the background. Once a month, a crew of kid volunteers hit the road to pick up the trash that people have tossed out of their cars. They find cans, bottles, bags, wrappers, and all sorts of junk. The kid volunteers gather in the clubhouse to get gloves and black trash bags. Then they fan out on either side of the road. Some of the kids walk in the deep gullies where trash rolls down. Others stay close to the pavement. Pause and practice help. Most of the small trash is tossed into bags. Whenever a big object is found, it is shown off as a prize. After about an hour, the friends reach the end of the road where a sign names their club. A shout of jubilation pierces the air. That's excitement. The bus takes them with their full black bags back to the club. Pause and practice help. And that's the end. You can help family, a neighbor, or even someone you don't know. All right, I hope you enjoyed this story today, and I will see you tomorrow.